Hey everybody, it's Doreen from Privies and Prims Needlecrafts. I hope you're having a great day. It is Sunday and I think it is almost the last day of June 2025. Tomorrow is the last day. So I have some finishes to show you today, which I promised from last flosstube that I would get some things finished. So I've got 4 finishes. One is like 99% finished, but I have to go to Hobby Lobby to get supplies to completely finish it. And then we're going to do the giveaways from last week for the 6,000 subscriber celebration. Thank you to every single one of you. I really appreciate all those who watch and all those who subscribe. So I know I got some new subscribers in this past week, and welcome to the channel. And I think I am at 6,040 now. It's either 6,030 or 6,040. So thank you all so much for helping my channel grow. I started it in April of 2020. I was looking at the analytics today, and I think it was April 14th of 2020 is when I started. So it has grown a lot since then. So I'm going to show you the finishes. And then I'm going to do the giveaways, which I have not chosen yet. I'm trying to give everybody as much time as possible to get on there and watch that video. So when I get to that point, I will stop this one and go choose the winners with the random comment picker. And then after I announce the winners, I will show project bags that I've been working on, and just a couple that are available in my Etsy shop that I've done since the last video. So let's get to the good stuff. I also want to talk about Pattern Keeper, and I'm going to show you my whip that I've been working on. So first I'm going to do the finishes. This is Saltbox Farm. It's a punch needle, and this is from Not Forgotten Farm, and this was in Primitive Quilts and Projects magazine. And I posted this on Facebook. Now, if you're not following me on Facebook, you should head over there, Privies and Prims, because I post every day, sometimes multiple times a day, and click that follow button over there. So, because I show like what I'm working on that day. So this is Punchneedle. It calls for all DMC. The only DMC that I used was the black for the windows and the door, because I was at a stitch group and I didn't have black with me, but my friend had the black DMC. So I used the 310. A few people have asked me what issue this is from. So it doesn't say like at the bottom, like Punchneedle Primitive Stitcher magazine always has the date and the issue, like spring or summer at the bottom, but this does not. So I did Google it, and I believe it is spring 2012. I have a whole bunch of the magazines upstairs in the loft, but I looked for this one in all those, and I don't have that issue. But when I Googled it, it came up spring 2012. So if you have that issue, look for it there. There is a link on my Facebook page, and I'll try to remember to put it here in the description box. You can buy this pattern for $10 if you don't have that magazine. And I'll show it to you again. I used all Valdani pearl cotton and a little bit of Valdani floss. Everything except, like I said, the black is Valdani. So this is my finish, and this is how I finished it. So I just used Aleene's tacky glue, and I cut like a 1/2 inch around, then trim the corners, and I cut a slit like halfway on each one so it's not one big piece to flop back. I ironed it back, used Aleene's tacky glue, and just glued it on here. Now, I got this at an antique store a few years ago, and there's a piece of crinkled paper in it. It's metal. I don't know what I'll do with it, but I've just had it sitting up in the loft on display. I think I paid $5 for this, and I did not paint it. This is the color it was when I got it. So I really like this, and it was super easy. So if you're interested in the colors that I used, let me show it up close. Send me a message or leave me a comment, and I can tell you the colors. Like I said, the only thing that's DMC is that black on the windows and the door. This is 2 different colors of Valdani. You can see this one's darker. So those are 2 different ones. And me think what I was going to tell you. Oh, I use an ultra punch needle. I stitch with it on the #1 setting, and I use the medium tip, and I double my threads. So I pull from the outside of the ball of pearl cotton, either 12 or 8, doesn't matter. If you're going to double it, actually 12 is a little better for the medium tip. And so I pull from the middle of the ball, which is challenging to find the end. And then I also pull from the outside. So if you have any other questions about that, let me know. There are a couple years of punch needle tutorials on my Facebook, on my YouTube page. If you go to my homepage and click on playlist, and then look for, there's one for punch needle and there's one for punch needle how-to videos. So that is the first finish. The second one would be Teresa Kogut, Seeks Wool. I think this is also a punch needle pattern, but I did it in cross stitch, and I believe somebody gifted me this, so thank you to that person. And I showed last week what I was going to do with it, that I was just going to frame it, and here is the finish. There you go. So this frame was navy blue. And I remember saying last week that I didn't know if it was blue or black. It was definitely blue, which I loved. It was already distressed and everything, but it didn't match. So I used just some little Americana craft glue and put it on here. And then I put a watered down brown paint over it and then wiped it off to antique it. And then I sprayed it with clear spray paint. So once again, there it is. I am not sure if I used called for colors or not. I would have to go back and look. So if you're interested, let me know. Still smells like paint. The back of it is never pretty, but I just wrote a name, date. Sometimes I'll put where I live because I move so much that if somebody found it one day, they could say, oh, this was from this town, you know. So just something I do sometimes. Okay, next finish is Project Quarantine. If you're going to do this, this is with the needle and thread, and it is available online. If you do a Google search for it, it does come up in multiple shops. This part right here is 1/1. I did not know that when I got it. Actually, I think somebody gave this to me, but when I started stitching it, I did not realize that was 1/1. And it really bothered me at first, and I wasn't even sure if I was going to do the whole thing or maybe just do part of it and do it as regular cross stitch. But I pushed through and I got it, and I'm so glad I did because I love it. And here is my finish. So this frame I showed last week was this color right here, just stained wood, and I painted it. This is the same color that I painted the doors in the cabin. It's called Haven, and it's Heirloom Traditions paint, I think. So it's like for cabinets and things like that, but I have a lot of it. I think I have a half a quart left. So I used it on here, and then again I did the brown. I don't know if you can see it. Both of them I sanded before I put the brown wash on it, and that like exposes some wood so it looks worn and aged. And then I just put that brown on and then wiped it off. Now, as for how I finish it, this is the back. It did have a picture in it with glass. I took the glass out. I don't like to use glass. I like it when the frame has glass when I buy it, because I can use that glass to trace my fabric and line it up right. I measure how much on this side, make sure it's the same on that side. So the glass is really handy for that, and then I just get rid of it. Right now it's sitting up on my counter. So I take the cardboard, if it has cardboard. Sometimes I get a frame and it has nothing, just the frame. Both of these had everything, so that was great. Take the cardboard, I take a piece of, this is really basic and simple, not your heirloom that's going to last through generations, just for me. It gets hung on the wall. I take a piece of Warm and Natural, and I take the glass and I trace around the glass onto the Warm and Natural. I cut that out. I use Elmer's spray adhesive and spray it on the cardboard, and then stick the Warm and Natural to it. Then I do the same thing with my cross stitch. I put the glass on it, trace around it, and cut it. So the cross stitch is cut to this size. It's not laced, it's not pinned, it's just flat in there. And then I take the spray adhesive and spray the Warm and Natural, and then stick, I lay it down, and then I put the cross stitch on top of it, line it all up, make sure it's right. Sometimes you have to trim the edges, and then I just stick it in there. So it's really, really simple. And again, a lot of people would not do that because, it's, I guess, I don't know what to say. Like some of them, you work on them a really long time. They're really valuable and you want it to last for a long time. With mine, it just gives me something to do, and then I just want to get it up and displayed as my decoration. So I'm not real fussy about it. I just do it simple and cheap. And these are both thrift store frames. One of them had a sticker on it for $1. I don't remember how much the other one cost, but I know the one was $1. This one was $1 because it had a sticker on the back, price tag. And then on this original label here, I wrote my name. So I could do something, more advanced than that and tape something on the back. But like I said, it's just for me. Okay, my next finish is from this book. And I did this pattern, which I'll show you on the back. A lot of people ask me, where can I get this pattern? What's it called? It's called Sweet Land of Liberty, and it's Blackbird Designs, and the book is called Sweet Land of Liberty. So as my printed working copy, this is what it's supposed to look like. Now, I don't have this candlestick, but she does give the information, tells you where to get it from Hobby Lobby, the ribbon from Hobby Lobby. So, get this stuff out of the way. Here is the ribbon. I did coffee stain mine because it comes bright white and red and blue. I coffee stained it. I actually put a little bit of RIT dye in. I think it's just tan, but it's for synthetic because this is not cotton. This is 100% polyester. So this is the number, if it's clear enough for you to read. But when you get the pattern, she tells you what to look for at Hobby Lobby. And I got mine when it was 40% off. So this is just not printed straight, but this is like the supply list that she tells you to get. So the candlestick, I probably have 15 of these, and I was hoping that it would fit. I'm not sure what count the fabric I used. It might be either 36 or 40, and she called for 32 count Confederate gray, so finish size 4 7/8. Yeah, so my finish size is 4 3/4. So it's about right, but I was hoping it would fit on this because I have about 15 of these, and I use them for all different kind of little craft things. But it did not fit. And so what I did, anyway, here is my finish. There is my ribbon. Here is the back, because I still have to go buy the candlestick to put this on. I guess I could just put a little hanger on it, actually, and put something over that cut. I stuffed it. The way that she tells you to do it is like the way you do a top of a drum, where you cut like 4 pieces of batting and stack them and then put a piece of cardboard under it so that you can put, I guess you can put pins in it. But you can put pins in this because I only used fiberfill to stuff it. I did not do that whole process. I just used fiberfill. I don't know if it would have stuck up more or what would be the purpose. I mean, hers doesn't look like it sticks up. So I don't know what would be the purpose of doing all that rather than just using fiberfill. But there is my finish. I did change colors. because I wanted to stitch from my stash. And I showed this before, and I don't know how clear that is, but those are the colors that I used. If they're not clear, let me know. I can post a picture of them. So I don't know, now that I'm thinking of it, maybe I will just put a hanger on it and hang it from a cabinet knob or something, and just put a piece of wool back here with my label on it. I have some big labels. Yeah. But so the way I did this, I've never done this before, and you can see there. So I started, okay, I started here, and I used hot glue. So, because it dries right away. So put a dab of hot glue, then I could just kind of, actually I can show you. So this was glued down this end, and then I just bent it like this. Let's see if you can see it. I'm trying to find a place where you're going to be able to see it. Maybe against my neck. There we go. Okay. So I folded that over. I put a dab of hot glue under here. I put a dab of hot glue under there. And then that stuck there. And then the next one, you're just going to bend it like that again, and hot glue under here, hot glue under there, whoops, and hot glue under here. Wherever two pieces are joining together, you have to put a dab of hot glue. So then you just keep doing this, like, you know, all the way around. Try to get them these aren't even, but I think I did pretty good getting them like a close same distance apart. I'm trying to look through my bifocals. So anyway, that's what you want to do. You want to try. And if it's not perfect, I mean, it's okay. Like, look, it's not a perfect circle. It has almost like a little wonkiness to it, which I like because it's primitive. But I did use Picture This Plus linen. Okay, so that's, let me think. Picture This Plus linen that I bought from Lillian at Bestie Barn Creations, and it's 36 count. And I think it's sand is what I used. What the pattern calls for is 32 count Confederate Gray by Weeks Dye Works. I used 36 count, and mine came out the right size. So the way I traced this circle, I found a pot lid. And of course, this wasn't all put together. It was just a flat piece of linen with the stitching. I laid the lid over top of the linen. So, you know, this is your linen with your stitching on it. Put it on the table. Put this over it. Centered it on there. And it's glass, so you can see through it, which is perfect. Centered it over it. Took a pencil, traced around it. And then, you know, I left, there was a little room around it because you don't, like when I sewed it, actually the seam is halfway under here. So the end of this is not at the seam. There's maybe a 1/4 inch to a 1/2 inch there. So I made sure it was the same on both sides. That's why something with clear is great, because then you can center it, trace it, cut it. I used a scrap of fabric that I had for the back. I sewed the two pieces together, and I sew all the way around, then cut a slit for stuffing. It was so easy. So that is that finish. If you have any questions, leave a comment or send me a message. So now I'm going to show you my whip. Let me set this stuff down. I had to send, I know I feel like I'm going crazy with Amazon. Excuse me. So last week I told you that I bought the 7-inch tablet just because I wanted something cheap. I was only going to use it for Pattern Keeper. And it was too small. It was just a little bit bigger than my cell phone because I thought it would be wider like my 7-inch Kindle, but it's not. So I sent it back. And before you say I can use my Kindle, that Kindle is too old. I only use it to read. I go to bed every night and read on my Kindle. So I bought a 10-inch one. And I tried that one. And the other day when I turned it on, it had Chinese language on there. And if you've ever like turned on a computer and it came on like in safe mode and it's got all these codes and all this stuff on there, that's kind of what it looked like. So I'm gonna, if I still have the picture, I'll insert it here of what it looked like when it came on, which made me nervous because I thought, what is on this tablet? It was a no name, you know, some off brand from Amazon. So I immediately went on my laptop, on my Chromebook, and I went onto my Google account, and it tells you like what devices you're signed in on. And I signed myself out of Google on that device. That's the only thing that was on there was Google and Pattern Keeper. I had not transferred like all my other apps and settings on there. So I signed out of that. I forced it to shut down just by holding the power button. And then I restarted it and it came up correctly. It had my wallpaper picture and it had everything in English. And then I did a factory reset. And now it's in a box to be returned. So that just gave me the creeps. I don't know what was going on there. So I went ahead, you know, I was trying to be, let's say, budget friendly instead of cheap. I was trying to be budget friendly, frugal. But I decided to just go ahead and buy the Kindle Fire 10-inch, and I still was a bit frugal because I bought a refurbished one. It has the same guarantee as a new one, and it was $69.99, I think, and the new ones were over $100. So it said like new, which it was. You can't even tell if it was used. But Amazon has that situation where you know they're guaranteeing it. You get the same warranty. They've checked everything out. So I did that. And here is my Kindle Fire. So this is a cheapy case I got for $5. It was on a special, and I think now it's $10. But you know, it has this. It's a universal one, and I'm not sure I like it too much, but I think it'll be okay. It's just got these little rubber things holding it on, but you have to watch because like the buttons are here and the rubber band things might cover the buttons. So I may just go ahead and return this one and get one that's made for the Kindle Fire. But first I wanted to make sure I was keeping the Kindle Fire. But this does, you know, it folds back so you can stand it like that on a table. So, and then it has this elastic to hold it shut. But that is probably going to go back too. And I'll just get one that's made for the Kindle Fire. So the holes and things, buttons are not covered. But so Pattern Keeper is so confusing to me. So confusing. And my friend Alex, hey Alex, she showed me a couple things on it at our stitching group. And then that was on the 7-inch one. And then I had to send that back. So I have some problems. And then my friend Jennifer, hey Jennifer, I'm going to put her on speed dial. She is helping me. And like, it seems like all the patterns I put on there don't have grids. And there was one I put on and it was Primitive Stitching from Etsy, and hers had grids and it showed up the number graph or chart, whatever you call it, so that you could click on that number and that thread number and it would highlight everything that's that color, which is fantastic. But everything I tried to do did not come up. So I even tried to Teresa Kogut one that was a PDF, and they're just not working right for me. So anyway, Jennifer's helping me with that because when I had to add a grid, and this is the one, I bought this as a PDF, so this is the cover. It's Stacy Nash, and I bought it from her Etsy shop. So when I had to add the grid to this on Pattern Keeper, it doesn't line up just perfect. Like I got the corners right, but I would get the bottom right corner in the right place, and then the top right corner would be off. Then I'd fix the top right and then go back down and the bottom right was off. So Jennifer said that the picture or like the PDF or maybe the way it printed was not exactly, well, it's not the way it printed because I did it from the PDF file. It's just not exactly like lined up. It was a little wonky. So she has done something to it and then tried to help me with this. And that's what I will be working on today after I get this filmed. So I worked on all my finishes all morning. Now I'm filming this, and I got to do the giveaways, and then when this is all done and I'll upload it, then it's stitching time, and I'm going to try to figure this out. So this is the pattern, and it's like a drum. It's like a big, I think it's pretty big. It's oh gosh, 7-inch diameter by 2 inches high. So it's like a drum, but it's only like this. So if you think like a layer cake, a round layer cake, it's like one layer. So these are the colors that I'm using. So I've changed it again to use what I have, and I am stitching it on Picture This Plus Vellum 36 count. This is again from Lillian at Bestie Barn Creations on Etsy. And this is a fat quarter, and I haven't cut it yet, but that's all I got done. That's the bottom. I started on the bottom circle, and that's all I got done. I've only worked on it twice because I'm project bag crazy, ladies and gents. That's all I want to do is project bags. But this is so relaxing. You know, once I start, and sometimes it's 10 or 10:30 at night, then I don't want to stop. I just have to make myself stop doing everything else and sit down and stitch because I love it. It's just, I get so busy with other stuff. So that is the only whip that I'm working on right now. I do have the I think they're Plum Street, the little stockings. I forget the designer, but I just finished the one that I showed you last week, and I haven't started any more of those because I want it to work on this. But I may jump back and forth and not be monogamous. This is the project bag that I'm using. Got a lot of glare. Love this fabric. There may still be one in my Etsy shop. I'm not sure. I don't have any more of the fabric of the geranium. I think it's called Patriotic Geraniums or something. I bought it online. This is my Notions bag. And my DMCs are bobbinated. My fancy floss, I just keep them on a ring when I'm not using them, but I don't like put them on a ring when I am using them. I just kind of fold them in half and put them in the bag. So this is my dried time, which is almost gone, but I have another one. Yeah, so substituted some colors. One that I could not find on a conversion chart. So this is only going to have one DMC. And this is, it was supposed to be baking tin, Classic Colorworks baking tin. I could not find that color listed on a conversion chart. So I contacted my friend Anne at Shepherd's Needle. The Shepherd's Needle, very helpful. They have everything you need there for punch needle and cross stitch. They're in Little Rock, Arkansas, but she does ship. You can order from the website. So I contacted her and said, could you please tell me, because I wasn't going to an LNS anytime soon, could you tell me which DMC goes, you know, would be a substitute for the Classic Colorworks baking tin? And she said it would be 645. So that is it. DMC 645. So that is the one I will be using. And it's really odd because it's actually a color of like a little pond down here, which you would think would be some kind of blue or something, but that's the color of it. It's like a gray. And then, so when I got done doing these, I like to use a thread bed when I go out. You know, it's like my needle book and my place for me to put my little cutoffs that people call orts. And this is all I had left of the fabric. So I made myself a little baby, little thread bed and needle book. So my thread cuttings will stick to this fleece. My needles, you see I have 2 needles in there. I like to use the petite size 28, and I think they are John James petite tapestry size 28. So Look how little it is. But it works. It does what I need it to do. So I'm trying to, as I use the project bags with the thread books, I'm trying to put like 2 needles in each one. So that way if I drop one and lose it, I still have another one. So that is a lot of rambling. We're at 30 minutes. Labels. I know, I promised y'all. I was going to tell you how to do labels. Yeah, I got all these because I don't do a lot of bright colored fabrics. But I don't think I have any of the tan ones anymore. And so I promise you that tutorial will be this week because I don't have any more. And if I do, it's only one. And I'm going to be doing dark fabrics, some dark fabrics this week. So if you're interested, let me just go ahead and do the project bags now. No, because you might not be interested in that. I'll do the giveaways and then I will come back. And actually I'm going to be honest with you. I'm going to go ahead and do the project bags, but I'm going to insert the giveaways between these 2 parts. So if you're not interested in the project bags, thank you for watching. Stay tuned for the giveaways. Welcome to the giveaway portion of the video. So thank you to every single one of you that left a comment and wished my mom a happy birthday. She did have a really good day. We went over to my brother's. I have one brother that lives nearby here and the other lives in another state. So we went to the one that lives close here and we had a cookout up on the hill and, you know, we had burgers and all kinds of goodies and birthday cake and it was just a great day. So thank you to everyone for those wishes. And she thanks you. I did tell her that a lot of people left birthday wishes for her. So let's get to these giveaways. If I say your name, I was going to say call your name. If I say your name, please email me your real name and your YouTube name so that I know, you know, because some of the YouTube names are real creative and they don't have your real name on it. So I will need your name and your address. And the email is priviesandprims@yahoo.com. I will put it across the screen here, so look up. It is also on the picture of the business card at the end of the video. And so priviesandprims@yahoo.com. So if I say your name, you are a winner. Email me what you won, what your name and address is, and I will get it in the mail to you. All right, so the first thing is the project bag. And everybody that put the word birthday in, that one had a lot of comments. And the winner is Corinne Kwood 9764. Now, Corinne, there's a little delay on this one. It's not going to get shipped right away. I don't have it made yet. So I went to make it yesterday. This is the project bag. And it's still in pieces because I went to sew it together yesterday. But that was one of the first ones that I cut out when I first started making them, like back in March or April. And at that time, this is how skinny I was doing the strips above and below the zipper. So you can see the zipper would go here, and this is really skinny. So this is the vinyl has to go in this. That's just way too thin. So I have to go to the store where I bought this fabric and get just like an 1/8 yard or a 1/4 yard or something so that I can do a wider strip on this for you. And I am going to try to do that sometime this week. So you can email me, tell me that you want it, and tell me your address. And as soon as I get that other piece of fabric, I will get that made for you and get it in the mail. But I didn't want to kind of shortchange it, you know, because it's too skinny. Okay, so congratulations. And congratulations to all the winners. I'm just going to say that up front. All right, so the next one is Pumpkin, which is 2 Punchneedle patterns. And they are by the Talking Crow. These are from 2015, so I don't know if she still sells patterns or not, but you can look her up. The winner of these is Liz. It's LIZSALRIV 1290. And I'll put it on the screen here because I don't know how to say that. So the next one is sheep. The keyword was sheep. And it's a wool applique pattern. And the winner of this one is Stephanie Stills, Stills. So Stephanie, send me an email. Next, the keyword was little, and it's for all these little patterns. And I'm going to put them just like in one bag together. And the winner of that is Connie Van Zant. It's VANZANT. So Connie, send me an email. The next keyword was strawberry, and that is for the kit for the, this out in case you forgot, the strawberry pattern, and it has all the extra stuff in here. And the winner of that, and it comes in this bag, is Nancy Bunt, BUNT 8151. Sorry, I keep looking down. I've got my list down here. The next keyword was Sunday, and that is for all of these scriptures, and I think they're from hymns, from all these, for all these patterns. And the winner of that is Connie, SIMONICH. Sorry, Connie, I don't know how to say your last name, but Connie got these, so send me an email. The next is kitchen, and that was for the vintage kitchen fabric project bag. And the winner of that one is Ethel, WEDAN 3237. Congratulations. Send me your, am I saying send me your email? Is that what I've been saying? Send me your address. Hopefully I said address. And a very popular one, the birdhouse bag. And I did find this to add with it as a little bonus, a little notions bag. I don't have any more of this fabric like to use it on any other bags, so I'm going to include this so you get a little bonus there. And this one goes to Cankerdoodle B9149. Thank you so much. Send me your address. And that is all for the giveaways. So thank you, everybody. I do want to remind you, this is a subscriber giveaway. So you have to be a public subscriber for me to verify that you're a subscriber, because it's a thank you. That's why I do it. It's an appreciation for all the subscribers. So you need to make sure that your subscriptions are public. A lot of you are not. So I had to keep like picking until I found one that was a public subscriber. So I'm going to put a link in the description box for future giveaways, because I do verify it. And that's the only way for me to verify that you're a subscriber, is if you're a public subscriber, because it'll show up on your page. And I know that I'm not the only one that does this. So if you're entering giveaways on other YouTube channels, on other floss tubes, you may be being passed by because your subscriptions are not public and they can't verify it, that you're a subscriber. So I'm just saying it's not just me. I know for a fact that other people do this also. And I feel bad because, you know, sometimes like the name comes up, but I have to move on and pick another name because I can't verify that they're a subscriber. And again, this is an appreciation for subscribers. So sometimes I'll just do giveaways, you know, for everyone that's just watching. But for things like this, like where I gave away like 8 things, it's for public subscribers, for subscribers that I can verify. So I hope you understand that. It confuses people a lot on how to do this, but it's really simple. And I'm going to put a link down in the description box, and really all you have to do is Google and say, how do I make my YouTube subscriptions public? And it'll tell you. It's super easy to do. But if you are confused by it and you have any questions, send me a message or email, whatever, and I will help you with it so that you don't miss any future giveaways. And on to our continued program now. thank you again for everybody that entered these giveaways. Okay, so project bags. I'm working on saltbox houses right now. So what I am doing, I did these 2 yesterday. These are not on Etsy yet. That is a 3-piece set. They are both 3-piece sets. These are the backs. I didn't know how it was going to work out because it's like a border fabric, but I think it worked out really great. Somebody said that it reminds them of Hawk Run Hollow, the village Hawk Run Hollow. So if you're doing that, this would be great to use for those. So these sets are $35 each, but they are not on Etsy yet. And what I'm going to do is a whole grouping. As I'm going to show you these other ones I'm doing with the houses, and then I'm going to put them all on at the same time. I will give advance notice, definitely on Facebook, on my Facebook page. I'll give advance notice of when they're going to go live on Etsy. And if I remember, I will post it on the community page on YouTube and also on Instagram, which is Doreen Brannan, and that's BRANNAN .privies and prims on Instagram. At the end of this video, there's a picture of my business card. It's got all that on it. And also in the description box, it should have all my links. So these are the ones I made yesterday, but I did cut out, and they're different, a little bit different because of where the fabric lined up. I did what they call fancy cut up here to have that strip, and here to have the sheep and part of the houses. And that's the end of that fabric. That's all I have. I found that one piece on the internet. It must be, I don't know if it's discontinued, out of print or what. I don't know where I was going. Anyway, such is life, right? Okay, this one I put on Facebook because I had red fabric, blue fabric, and dark brown for the inside of the bag, and I wasn't sure which one to use. So I put it on as a vote, and the red won. So let's see if I can show you. I don't have a board to hold up. That's what it looks like with the red. I can actually see through the fabric and see where I'm holding it. Okay, so this is a Notions bag. This will be, and I use the Elizabeth Ann Can Stitch tutorial. That's how I learned how to do it. So like this goes inside here, the strips with the zipper go here, and then this part folds over and becomes the binding. So that's how those are made. So that I have only 2, I think, that are getting made, and that's all I have of that fabric. And then this one, I will have, I think, 4 of this one. And I believe this is the same designer as the other Saltbox House ones. It's just a different part of the, what do they call it? Like part of the same line, same artist, same designer. Oops. And this is what's going to be inside of them. I want it to bring out like the antique gold houses, like right here. I almost used the dark blue, but I wanted to try to do something different. And I used the dark blue on a lot. And these are Kansas Trouble fabrics. You can see there's like little berries on there. So when I use like the red, let me see that one. Ooh, that looks bright. It's really like a dark barn red, but see the little berries? And then I have navy blue and dark brown and dark green. All of those, except for the tan, are this same print. But it's great for the inside. So it's Kansas Trouble Quilt Fabric by Moda. All right, so these, I don't know if I showed this one last week. This is a Teresa Kogut patriotic fabric. Bright Stars, it's called. This is a small one. I think it's 9 3/4 by 10. And I've been told, I don't do Mill Hill kits, but I was told that these would be good for those. And also for English paper piecing if you're a quilter. Now these, I don't know if I had them done last week or not, because I worked on Patriotic all week. I'll just show you the back of one. It's pretty much the same. Patriotic Campers. So this also has the red inside. These are on Etsy currently. You can go and buy it right now unless it's already sold. This is the 3-piece set. I'm sorry about all that glare. This is the 3-piece set for $35. This is just the Notions bag and the project bag, and that is $32. So those are on Etsy right now. All these that I'm going to show you right now are already on there. I have 2 of these. It's Patriotic Eagles. I was trying to get all my Patriotic fabric used up, and a few people, or a couple people on Facebook said they wanted one with this. So this has the navy blue berries. Let me see if I can get it there. There you can see it. Same as the red, just navy blue. So this one by itself, $25. This one has the thread bed, so it's $28. And of course the back is the same. Somebody asked me when I was doing the voting for what color to put inside, she said that she would like, I'm going to call this the main fabric, okay? To put the house fabric, the main fabric on the inside, and then the dark blue or red on the outside. It makes a pretty picture because it looks like a frame when you do that. But once you put your stuff in there, you cannot see what's in there, what that backing fabric is. So you would not even see the houses once you put your stuff in there. So that's why I use kind of a more subtle fabric on the inside, because it gets covered up. So I did a poll on that on Facebook, and every person that answered said they wanted the main fabric on the outside. So that's what I do. These are some more Patriotic. If you know I like Prim, these are not something that I would particularly pick, but I'm trying to, pick things that other people might like. And my friend Katie said they look like stamps, like postage stamps. So this is a square one again. And the smaller ones are marked, I think they're 22. They're marked lower than the other ones. And then I have these. So this one has the thread bed. This one doesn't. They're all the same. And that fabric is now gone. So I wanted to use up all the Patriotic fabric, get it out. The only thing I have left Patriotic is Teresa Kogut. And I think I'm going to hold off on that one because Teresa Kogut Patriotic will sell all year long. And I just made a whole set of those like might have been the beginning of this month. So I want to hold off on those. So this week, after I finish these ones that are already cut, which I don't think they'll be done tomorrow because I have to take my mom somewhere. This is one. It's not Saltbox House. Well, no, it's not Saltbox Houses, but I guess it's not a Saltbox House, that gold one, because it's got the side part added to it. But so we'll see how I have to fussy cut this one to make it into project bags. But I think I have 2 yards here, so that's going to make a lot of bags. And when you fussy cut, you know what fussy cut is? Fussy cut is like you're cutting a particular part to make sure that part is in the part of the bag that you use. And you're not just randomly like cutting heads off and stuff. So when you do that, actually some fabric gets wasted. So I'm going to do the best I can and not waste fabric. And this is what I chose for inside it. And this is a Primitive Gatherings fabric. I got that for inside. It's got this green in here. A lot of green on there. And I thought that would look cute inside. And this one. Again, this is going to be careful cutting. Isn't that gorgeous? It says Village Antiques. The most beautiful attire is a smile. Bless the food before us. So it's all like kitchen and antique stuff. And it's called Plain and Simple by Color Principle for Henry Glass and Company. Now for the inside of this, let me think, this might be, yeah, this is Primitive Gatherings also. When I bought it, I didn't know what I was going to do with it. What was I going to use it for? But it's got that barn red and tan that I love. If you can see that design, not real clear, but the colors are perfect. So that is going to be the inside of these bags. And that is that. So thank you for watching. Thank you for staying till the end. Let me know what y'all are doing in this heat, and how are you, like, what's your favorite thing to do during the heat? Do you go swimming? Do you just sit in the air conditioner and stitch? Do you, go on a hike? Maybe some people go on a hike in the heat. Oh, here's a question for you. When I said hike, it reminded me of it. I've been watching cop videos, like cold case files, and body cam videos, which are like the real time of when they're all getting arrested and all. I find it fascinating of how they solve these cases. And I have a little fan on here. Hopefully that wasn't making a lot of noise. I find it fascinating how they solve these cases, and now they're even using like genealogy techniques to trace, like they found a deceased baby and they did the DNA, and then they traced it on the genealogy website, found the grandfather, found the baby's parents, so, and some of them are like 40 some years old, these cases that they're solving, because we have so much more technology now. And like they kept the DNA, like a sample of carpet in a bag, and it's 40 some years, it still works. They can still do it and create that DNA profile. Let me know if you watch that stuff. It does make me like shut my door and lock it at dark now because I'm like watching all these murder videos. Of course, they don't show anything. Everything's blurred out. And on cold case files, they really don't show anything. But some of the body cams, like they're there, but it's all blurred and you don't see anything. So it's not gross, but it can creep you out a little bit. So let me know if you like to watch that stuff and what your favorite one is. I don't have TV, but I do have YouTube. Like somebody told me to watch Investigation Discovery or something. So I went on YouTube and looked it up, and it just had a bunch of small, short clips. It wasn't like actually full episodes. Like Cold Case Files has full episodes. So I just kind of let that run while I'm making the project bags, and you just kind of glance over at it once in a while, but it's like playing and you can hear it, and that's what keeps me occupied. So maybe I'm crazy, I don't know. My mom said she thinks it's crazy that I watch all that, and it doesn't gross me out. I just think it's fascinating how they solve the cases. So let me know what you think of that. Do you watch this stuff? And I will see you on the next video. And I promise, I'm going to do the labels. I don't know how I'm going to do a tutorial on that because I have not done tutorials on computer stuff like that before, but I'm going to try. And because I have to make myself labels this week, because I'm going to have project bags that those white labels are not going to look good on. So I'll see you next time, everybody. Happy stitching and stay cool. Bye. Sometimes I sneak a little giveaway in at the end for the people that watch the whole video all the way to the end, because I really appreciate that. It really helps my analytics on YouTube when people watch the whole video. So even if, you have to get busy or whatever, go do something, if you just let the video play through till the end, it helps my channel. So as a little extra giveaway, and this is for anybody, you don't have to be a public subscriber, that you watch to the end, I appreciate it. So this is a Lizzie Kate pattern, And it is called Summer ABCs, and it comes with a little watermelon button. As you can see, it's taped on there. So this is just a little itty bitty one. It is, let me see. Does not say size. Let me see. 41 by 69, so it's super small. So thank you again for watching. If you are interested in this, use the word watermelon in your comment. Leave me a comment with the word watermelon, and there will be a winner. Remember, you have to be 18 because I have to send it to you. I have to ask for your address. United States only, and don't use the word giveaway or prize or win or anything like that. All right, see you next time. Bye.